John Calvin, on Psalm 19, verse 11. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. By them is your servant warned, in keeping them there is great reward. No man will ever speak truly and in good earnest of heavenly truth, but he who has it deeply fixed in his own heart. David therefore acknowledges that whatever prudence he had for regulating and framing his life aright, he was indebted for it to the law of God. Although, however, it is properly of himself that he speaks, yet by his own example he sets forth a general rule, namely, that if persons wish to have a proper method for governing their life well, the law of God alone is perfectly sufficient for that purpose, but that, on the contrary, as soon as a person departs from it, they are liable to fall into numerous errors and sins. It is to be observed that David, by all at once turning his discourse to God, appeals to him as a witness of what he had said, the more effectually to convince men that he speaks sincerely and from the bottom of his heart. In keeping them there is great reward. It is no mean commendation of the law when it is said that in it God enters into covenant with us, and, so to speak, brings himself under obligation to recompense our obedience. In requiring from us whatever is contained in the law, he demands nothing but what he has a right to. Yet such is his free and undeserved liberality that he promises to his servants a reward, which, in point of justice, he does not owe them. The promises of the law, it is true, are made of no effect, but it is through our fault. For even he, who is the most perfect amongst us, comes far short of full and complete righteousness, and men cannot expect any reward for their works until they have perfectly and to the full satisfied the requirements of the law. Thus these two doctrines completely harmonize. First, that eternal life shall be given as the reward of works to him who fulfills the law in all points, and secondly, that the law notwithstanding denounces a curse against all men, because the whole human family are destitute of the righteousness of works. What God promises in the law to those who perfectly obey it, true believers obtain by his gracious liberality and fatherly goodness, inasmuch as he accepts for perfect righteousness their holy desires and earnest endeavors to obey.